So, the youth time of practice comes to a close, ladies and gents. And next we have our time of practice for our SuperEnduro World Cup Junior category.
In Newcastle for round 6 of the FIM SuperEnduro World Championship. I'm Dave Moore, and just like a year ago, we could see the local hero crowned world champion in front of his adoring home crowd fans. Billy Bolt could and should secure the title later on today. Before that, we have a small matter of time practice qualifying, and alongside me, not just a co-commentator this weekend, but also a competitor in the expert class, and that is Paul Bolton. So good afternoon, Paul. We'll come to the track in a moment, but here we are yet again, the penultimate round of the SuperEnduro World Championship. Billy Bolt in front of his adoring fans. We've already been to Gliwice, we've been to Riesa, Cluj, Łódź, Budapest. Here we are in Newcastle, Livan in France next week. The final round, but we could see Billy, and I think we will see Billy land the title here today.
Yeah, he set the POV this week here in Newcastle, which we'll see in a few moments probably. And yeah, he was putting the hammer down in the first practice out the gates, looked solid in a really cool Newcastle United football sort of idea of kit, which looks really factory. Billy always looks the man, and yeah, his riding was doing the business as well. Absolute mega riding, really good time out the gate as well. The track's really good, the way they've designed it. Lots of different line choices, lots of different rhythm lanes. You can choose one, opt one, you'll gain it later. You know, there's so many options in this track, and I think the track team have done an amazing job this week.
At the moment, we're showing you pictures of the junior time practice. And of course, it's not just Prestige this weekend, it's Prestige, Junior, Youth, and the Expert class. And Paul, you've been itching to have a go again. You competed in it last year as well and did rather well.
Yeah,
and here you are back again.
Yeah, I just got the itch because I obviously used to race in this championship so many years ago, and it's such a great sport. And obviously, I've not been able to sit down in all the commentary we've done this season, as you know, Dave. But yeah, I just got the itch to try it again, and obviously come up to the commentary. So bit of fun, and I'll come up with more insights. Already know so much more about the track than I would do by just being up here and with you, and yeah, hopefully bring you more.
Yeah, well, we've got, as I say, once this session finishes in around 4 minutes' time, we'll have 2 Prestige time practices, Group A and Group B, and then later on, of course, at 6 o'clock when we go live with the main show. We'll begin with Super Pole. But anyway, let's have a look at the track. And the great thing is this time, as you just said, Paul, you've not been walking around it, you've been riding around it as well. So out of the start.
Yeah, straight start. There's obviously a little roller, which is the landing that we're sort of breaking up, and then you're turning hard left across them logs, so you're going across the logs. We'll see Billy go around there in a second, but it's so cool. I like this design where we're doing a big long left-hander, a couple of obstacles. They're using the obstacles twice, and I think the start's going to cause some problems. But there's multiple lines around it, so you can see how hard Billy's braking on the landing of the start-finish jump there, across the logs. That bit there's got quite a bit of a hole at the bottom. They might prep it, they might not. But yeah, there's so many cool little bits to that start, and so many. Even if you're on the right-hand gate pick, you can run all the way outside right, and then when you're running into the sort of long when you're running just past the digger, there's the long right-hander. That is where you can probably use some insides leading towards the rock garden, which is longer than last year by one full section of. So you can see the outside berm there. They're going to probably take that most of the time, but we could see some last-minute sort of hold somebody up in the corner before the rock section. There's really good lines on the left. Far left and right there's good lines, but then the main 3 lines are sort of middle right and middle left. So, but there is lines all the way on the right that we might see people use off the start.
Doesn't seem to be any big holes in there either.
No, there are some big catches. There's a couple of big square rocks that kind of just you can lose your front wheel against, and it might just stop your rhythm and maybe load the front up, which would make you spin a bit more. And then, yeah, this matrix, if you can just see before the matrix starts, there's a log angled up. That one there that Billy's doing, that inside line's so tricky, it's freaking me out at the minute.
In what way is that tricky?
Because you've got to hit it and it's pinging the back wheel. You want it to go straight over it and land, but when you hit it and it loads the back shock up, it's pinging back to the right. And that feedback's quite unnervy. And as the night goes on, that bit of dirt up against it is going to cause a bit of problems. You can go outside. The guys are going to do double if they go fully outside and miss that inside line. So where they'll go off the inside line, they'll go double over the log I was talking about, then they'll go single, then they'll go double out. So there's so many. You've got to use your head.
It looks so simple as well.
Yeah, it does. There's so many lines.
Yeah. So then out of the matrix and then onto the finish line jump.
Yeah. And just before the finish line jump, there's quite a good log double, which sets you up nicely with the speed in. A couple of people have been casing that because the ground is quite spongy. And what that means is that the knobbles are digging in more than you would do normally, so the bike's having to work harder, so you're having to ride it a little bit harder in the rev range to get it over the jump. Yeah,
but it's not like the jump we saw last year. We'll talk about that another time. But then into this a little tricky looking rhythm section, really.
Yes. This section's really cool. With just around the big tyre, that's going to create some nice ruts as well. But this bit, you've got to be so online. If some of the dirt bike riders that are listening to it, imagine going into a lot of ruts. That's the kind of feeling that gives you. But you've got to carry the front wheel. You've got to carry the front wheel when Billy just hits this section from there to the next log uphill. Because if you don't, there's a big hole there. So that'll just get deeper and deeper because everybody's back wheels are landing and scooping out dirt. Yeah. But Billy and the boys are actually doubling onto the tyres, then riding, and then they're actually jumping from behind the rhythm section logo onto the concrete a little bit. Just front wheel onto the concrete though.
And then into these pipes.
Yeah, this is a great section again. Yeah, they're not so slippery, but you can see Billy doing that signature. He created that. back wheel, opening up the turn, letting the back wheel hit and then flicking out. Didn't do it as much that time. But when he starts wanting to change direction, he changes the direction with the back wheel. The exit out, that step up, is really, really tricky.
For him to do that, is that him or the bike? Or is it both?
It's both. It's him in tune with the bike, and he's just, as he hits the front wheel, he's making sure the front wheel's gone up off the pipe, and then he's pre-hopping it right on that example to open up the turn. Because we might see some of them use an inside and block pass to try to foul the guys jumping the step up to where the Bobcat is.
Yeah, into the wall.
Exactly.
So
the wall sends you to the moon.
So is that, I mean, the wall is just straightforward, is it?
It is straightforward, but what makes it hard is the landing, because then this rhythm for the boys to get the triple just past where the little 3-tonner digger is, that triple jump. So you get the wall right, you land in where the digger is, and then you really they can drive off, and I say they can, some of them, I can't. And they're doing the triple, but if you hit it and you feel the back wheel off the triple jump, the first log, then you're over into the landing, into that long right-hander.
Wow. So then, and then it's back round again, I think, isn't it? So this is the triple jump we were just talking about, Paul.
Yeah, and you can also go single, double, which is what I'm doing, just to get a better line round the turn. So the thing is, the track, it looks tight. Is it tight? It's always, yeah. For me, when I look at it, I think it looks quite open, but when you ride it, it closes in dramatically.
Right. Okay,
so it rides a bit tighter than it looks. But yeah, look at the ruts already created. As we see the Prestige just go out now.
Yeah, this is Group A just going out now. And first out, of course, is in his Newcastle United colours.
He just stands on the foot pegs and just gives it a handful, and it does what he needs it to do.
So we've got 7 riders out for this first time practice. Billy Bolt is out there, of course.
Look how effortlessly Billy just hops that corner jump. You see how the other riders are setting up more, and he just rides into it like it's normal.
So Ash Brightmore is out there as well. Fortunately, with no Freddie Gomez this weekend. Poor old Freddie, injured last time out, of course, in Budapest. He is here in the arena, but he's not a competitor. Half the field as well made up of Brits. So that is Billy Bolt now. So we've got 9 minutes left on the clock. We'll start setting some times down soon.
Billy's just finishing off a lap here. It looked good. Bit of a nosedive over that log, but that should set the standard.
36.0.
He went faster than that before. Ash Brightmore was looking mega in the first practice as well, and then
37.2 for Ash.
Somebody had a little moment in just before the tyres, and Ash ran up the back of some rider and broke the front guard. So there's been some drama this morning already.
So it's Billy Bolt from Ashton Brightmore, Toby Martin, Eddie Carlson, Cooper Rabbit, Tim Apollo.
I think after the first practice this morning, Eddie Carlson was second fastest. But obviously it doesn't stand at that point.
Exactly. This is when it matters now.
Eddie's just going to finish a lap now.
And he goes second fastest, 36.2, 2/10 slower than Billy Bolt. On your screens, it's Brightmore and Abbott. Ash Brightmore just pulling over, still third fastest. We're still waiting for someone to put a time down. Is it Gutkowski? Yes, it is.
Billy's on a real fast lap at the moment. He's just done a step up in the pipes.
He's in the rock garden as we speak.
And he hopped into that. Did you see that, Dave?
I didn't. I was too busy looking at Ash Brightmore, because Ash Brightmore's also on the throttle.
I think this is going to be a monster, this one.
There goes Billy Bolt now, 36.0, 34.3, it is a monster, 34.3.
That, for me, the only thing he did different that time, he did look like he carried a bit more speed into the rocks. However, the step up with the pipes before the wall was where he got that extra time, I think.
Gutkowski has posted a time.
Brightmore.
34.9, that's just over half a second down on Billy Bolt. And this, remember, Ashton Brightmore's first full season in Prestige, having won the junior crown last year.
Oh, I've just seen Billy do what he's been wanting to unlock. He just did on the tyre rhythm section, the rhythm lane. He literally ended where I said he'd land front wheel on the concrete. He actually jumped to back wheel onto the concrete. So that's unlocked now for Billy.
So we can see an improvement perhaps on 34.3, not just yet. So it's still Billy Bolt from Ash Brightmore, Carlson, Martin, Apollo, Abbott, and Gutkowski. And the way things stand this weekend, I mentioned it on my intro, Billy Bolt, we're expecting him to land the World Championship later on this evening. Make sure you are tuned in.
Billy's on one. So if he gets it right from that step on there.
There we go.
That's what he wanted to get done.
That's it.
See him land on the back wheel there. He's gone inside here, step up. Oh, he's missed it.
He did, he missed it. He landed, put the belly pan down on top of the pipe. But he's looking to recover.
Do you know the ruts before the wall? I just saw Billy's. He's done something even different over there as well.
But here he goes, 34.3 to beat 32.3 as a second off. That's a second off.
He just did after the rock section, the right-hand inside line. He didn't just go to the first log; he went to the third log. And he missed a little bit as well. So he knows he can polish that a little bit better for him.
I've said for years now, Paul, in commentary, people say it's the Billy Bolt show, and quite rightly, it's the Billy Bolt show, because we're watching something special with Billy.
He's the benchmark that the guys need to get towards, and the Brightmoors are close. Johnny's there, Eddie Carlson's there, Olsove. They're all just there. They're just a couple of little pieces here and there that they need to just dial in, and then they're all at the same level. But Billy is the benchmark. Billy's the trailblazer.
And the great thing I love about Billy is seeing him do things that other riders just can't do.
Yeah.
Billy's on another one again. Here we go again. Billy's on his way as we're looking at Eddie Carlson. No, he's not. He's held up.
So just...
Eddie's still... Eddie did a 36.8 then, just a little bit slower than his best lap so far. Cooper Abbott's just gone fifth fastest with a 38.8.
Just saw Cooper Abbott struggling actually on the wall. He must have hit a neutral or something. But yeah, he's happy with the track. He said it's quite spongy, which everybody's in agreement with. But the traction on the front wheel's really good, as we just see Billy go down in the rocks.
Oh, he has as well, yeah, right in front of us. Picks himself back up. But that's, again, it's not just about being the fastest rider. The way Billy recovers impresses me.
There it is. There's a replay, guys.
So this is the moment.
Yeah, you see the front wheel just go slid off, and he knew that it was going. Just missed his jewels as he went over the handlebars a little bit, but he knew what was happening. Toby Martin's having a good run.
He is. He's ahead of Cooper Abbott, and he's just a couple of seconds off Eddie Carlson. Toby Martin again, new to Prestige this year, new to SuperEnduro.
Yeah. Yeah, you just when you're from the commentary this year, what we don't see from up here is the depth before the logs, like the way they're kicking on the sections up into the logs, and how deep it goes. So the deeper it goes, the more of a kick you get, the more you have to control the back wheel off the lip, and that's what we don't see from up here, and you don't see it on TV even.
So still 32.3 is the best time from Billy Bolt. Ash Brightmore 34.9, that's 2.5 seconds slower. Eddie Carlson 36.2. Don't forget, we've still got the likes of Mitch Brightmore, Johnny Walker, Will Hoare, Dominic Oljavi in the second group, and the 7 best times, of course, will go through to the all-important Super Pole later on tonight. And Super Pole's been interesting last couple of rounds, Paul, because we've not had Mr. Bolt on the top of the, it's been Johnny.
which has been good, but yeah, it just shows, like we say, the depth. One mistake and they're all riding that knife edge of limit, and one little mistake here and there can cost you so much time. And yeah, that's what we see, and they're all aiming for the accuracy, and one little mistake it costs you.
Eddie Carlson's just done a 36.0, by the way. He's improved his time. However, he stays third fastest.
Yeah, I think that'll take him to Super Bowl.
Yeah, you will see Bolt, Brightmore and Carlson. The question marks at the moment are Martin Apollo, Cooper Abbott, which is a strange, that's a question mark. There's still a minute and a half or so to go, but you would expect Mitch Brightmore, Johnny Walker, Will Hoare and Dominic Oljavi to be completing the top 7.
Yeah, and Vieira can...
he can do it as well, yeah.
Tim Apollo's just done something with the wall at the moment. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh yes, he's got his front wheel buried in there.
Like that's if you just ride up that, it's an easy thing to do, but they must be getting cross-rutted or something. This is mega fast by Billy. Not gonna. I missed most of the first bit, but the last bit was really good.
That was a 33.4 that time, so that was a second slower than his best lap that we've had. Half a minute on the clock before the checkered flag comes out.
It's going to be interesting to see if Martin and Paul stay into the Super Bowl. Well, they're close. I think a lot are going to be doing 38s by the look of this.
You would expect Mitch Brightmore, Johnny Walker, Dominic Oljavi will be inside 38.
Yeah.
The question marks is whether Will Hoare will be. I think you would expect Will Hoare to be inside 38. If Carlson's doing 36, then. So that's it. Checkered flag is out. Billy Bolt with a 33.3, just as a 32.3. Sorry, for Billy Bolt. Ash Brightmore with a 34.9, 36.0 for Eddie Carlson, 38.1 for Toby Martin. Tim Apollo with a 38.6. And there Cooper Abbott with a 38.67. In fact, 6 thousandths of a second between Tim Apollo and Cooper Abbott. I don't think Tim Apollo or Cooper Abbott are going to make it.
Look at that kid. Toonami.
Yeah.
Toonami.
And Newcastle is really buzzing at the moment. The local team, Newcastle United, are at Wembley in a fortnight's time. So, yeah, good days to be in the northeast at this moment in time.
Yeah, what is going to be the decider? Because that was a rough track, so we're looking at 32.362 for Billy, fastest lap so far. But then they prep the track, so that might just go a little bit faster, but they'll be a bit colder out the gates. But that doesn't usually stop them, does it?
Group B coming out full prestige class now then. For those of you who haven't seen,
so just looking at a replay of Billy Bolt, the showman,
jib like he loves his mountain biking. That's kind of a little bit of a mountain bike sort of move.
So second group are out, Prestige, Mitch Brightmore, Johnny Walker leading them, Dominic Oljavi is also out there, Will Hoare, and a new name. A Brit in Prestige,
Dan Mundell. Yeah, Extreme Dan as we know him now. From he's just come third in Wild Willie's Extreme race, and he's not an extreme rider. He's more of a traditional enduro rider. Really good, done world rounds and done the big circuit.
So not forget Diogo Vieira as well. Gary Edmondson, who put in some good performances in Budapest. Well, we've got those are the times on the screen from the first group. The second group are out now.
So Johnny Walker's on a decent lap. Looks fast, but it's not going to be crazy fast, but it's been smooth so far.
Johnny Walker course, Billy Bolt's nearest rival in the championship standings. So just watching Walker now. First times are down. Will Hoare does a 39.7. Johnny Walker with a 36.4. So that means he'll certainly go through to Super Pole.
Mitch Brightmore's just decided to have another lap of warm-up, and he's just gone for one this time. He was nearly over the bars, out of the concrete bit before the concrete pipes.
So Walker's the only one to have penetrated through. Still waiting for a time from Diogo Vieira as well. In fact, there it goes now, 55.3. Dan Mandel with a 62.4. Dominic Olshavi on the Ryu. And Olshavi does a 38.8. However, he needs to improve on that to make his way through into the top 7, and I'm expecting to do so.
Will Hoare's just finished one.
Yeah, he was slow to
Dominic
begin with,
Olshavi
but
doesn't look the same rider we saw in the first few rounds. I know he's had them crashes,
had that injury.
but he just doesn't look like he's attacking like he has done in the past.
Confidence?
Yeah, probably, and just, yeah.
We're watching Mitch Brightmore now, who's certainly looking a little bit more rapid than he has done so far in this session.
Yeah, Mitch is on a good one here.
Here we go. What's he got? What's Mitch Brightmore got? He's got a 35.0, third fastest overall, fastest in this session. He goes quicker than Johnny Walker. So 35.0, just a tenth of a second slower than his brother.
Yeah.
They spent the past week here in the UK. They've been out in Spain for the winter.
So obviously Billy's gone fastest, and I don't think anybody's going to beat that time, if I'm being honest. It's a phenomenal time, and he's executing some things that others aren't. But how much risk does he put on the line to win these next 2 races when it could completely spoil the championship? How much? It's so incredible what he's got to deal with tonight.
They always say, go with what you know.
Yeah.
You know, go with what you know, because when you start changing things around, then, or if you start riding safe, then you make mistakes and then you hurt yourself.
You've just got to attack. He's just got to attack like he does. And Johnny's just done the concrete section that I've talked about, but I said they might only land on the front wheel. This should be a good one from Johnny.
Yeah, he's just over the wall now, into the triple jump, coming round into the rock garden.
Inside line on the before the rock section, which is a bit slower leading on, but then you've not got to control the log as much. Gonna go, and he should get double onto this one.
Yeah.
This is a good one, I think, guys.
Yeah, Johnny, is he going to go inside 35 seconds? No. 35.0.
It's there, isn't it? It's there in the ballpark.
Yeah. He's 4th fastest overall, and it's 4 Brits. 5 in the top 6 so far.
And also the track, because of the first group to this group, the track's the most beat up it's probably been all day at this moment. So, yeah, the guys are now, when the guys do a fast lap, and in this, because it only matters to get your fast lap, and then when they're doing a sort of cool down lap, they're riding all kinds of different lines to just analyse the track and just scan every little piece. So when it becomes a race and you can't go to your favourite line, you're already on the other pieces. So yeah,
I'll tell you the surprise, Will Hoare has only done a 39.7 so far, and he's 10th fastest overall, and at the moment that means Toby Martin is in Super Pole again. 34.5.
I just caught the back end of that, and when you can see them still pushing really hard towards the end of the lap, that means they must be happy with something.
34.5 for Mitch Brightmore, 4/10ths faster than his brother Ashton, but still 2.2 seconds slower than the man Billy Bolt.
And it's not over by any means. Even if Billy gets it tonight, then it's not over for 2nd, 3rd and 4th for the championship. That's kind of like damage limitation for all them 3, which will be Ashton, Mitch and Walker. So yeah, it's not over till it's over.
Harry Evanson just on your screen a moment ago. This is Will Hoare. Can he break inside the top 7? He's just making his way round. And I've not seen Will actually this weekend. I don't think you've managed to speak with him, Paul.
No, he's fine. He's been busy with his race that he was running at
Last
Tong,
weekend, yeah.
Wild Willies. So, yeah, he might not have as much time as he'd have liked on the bike, but I believe he was showboating around this place, doing some big jumps. But he didn't seem like there was anything wrong.
Right, okay. So Mitch Brightmore is just making his way round to complete a lap. Johnny Walker's just coming through the rock garden. No one on a quick one at the moment, Paul. 3 minutes left.
Will Hoare's maybe just started one.
Yeah, he's just coming into the wall section now, out of the pipes and over the wall, but it looks a little bit laboured into the triple jump it is. So
for me, just watching and observing bikes, Will's bike looks a little bit too imbalanced. The back doesn't look like it's matching the front.
Little moment there for Dominic Oljavi, but reacted quickly, just managed to clear the marshal.
Oh, Mitch Brightmore then just nearly cased the front wheel on the triple, but he's fast through the rocks.
Will Hoare is now. Will Hoare's attacking on this one.
Mitch is on a good one, I think, here. Whether it's going to beat that other good time.
34.7, 2/10 slower. 2/10 slower, but Will Hoare is over the wall now, just coming into the triple. Yeah, Will Hoare's going to improve his time, but is it going to go inside 38 seconds? He's into the rock garden now. We've just got Mitch Brightmore on the screen, but here goes Will Hoare. This is him. Yeah, we picked him up on the camera. Just doubles it. So Will coming up now to cross the timing beam, and Will Hoare does. Oh, he has. He's done it. 37.6. He is inside 38.
You can see that coming.
38. He's inside. So he's just pushed Toby Martin back. So as it stands, Will Hoare will be first out for Super Pole, unless Diogo Vieira can come up with something.
I just see Johnny Walker just going all kinds of different round the track then. He ended up coming off the track to the side and then just had a little look around and little detour and then join the track again.
How much time do they have before this to find out about this track, before they do the time section, Paul?
With the walking, and so they've had a 6 minute session this morning, and then they've done a bit of walking between. Oh, Dominic Oljavi. That just shouldn't be happening. He should not be doing that. He's got motocross background. He should not be messing up on a jump like that. That was horrendous. I thought he was going to grab the back mudguard and do a Superman seat grab.
It looked like a Superman seat grab.
Could it? Maybe he needs to do some freestyle. I think his foot peg's dragged on the rut.
Is that what it is? Because,
I think so.
Because it seems like he's lifted his feet up.
Yeah, he's blown his feet off.
Yeah. But it looks like he's done it himself, but obviously he hasn't.
No, if I'd have done that, I would have definitely needed to change my underpants, because that wouldn't have been nice at all.
He's had a couple of issues. He had another issue as well before, which he went off the track. So the good thing is for Dominic, he's done enough to qualify for Super Pole, so he is in Super Pole. So anything he needs to get sorted with the Ryu before then, he's got time. The checkered flag is 15 seconds away. I don't think Mitch Brightmore's. No, he's not.
No, he's just having a look around,
isn't he? Yeah. I don't think we're going to see any improvements on the time. So it's going to be Will Hoare, Dominic Oljavi, Eddie Carlson, Johnny Walker, Ash Brightmore, Mitch Brightmore and Billy Bolt in Super Pole. And I'll remind you, 3 points for coming in first place in Super Pole. And the way we've kind of worked it out, we'll come to it later on, but we think Billy could win it in the second race tonight if he wins Super Pole and wins the first race and wins the second race.
I think
what's going on with Dominic's bike here?
He's just got it wedged, and he needs to bring the back wheel round, but obviously that guy's just going to yank it out. And Luke Evans. Yeah, it's I believe that there's some maths to be done on it, and I think that even if he could get a second in one of the races,
I think
it's
all
super
that
close.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's.
He's going to do it tonight. I'm going to put.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. I think he's red hot favourite. I don't think you could bet against him.
But I think we should get a little poll together. If he does do it tonight, then he should ride a 125 in the last round. just to see how good them little bikes really are, because they are good.
We'll discuss that later. We'll see. Let's not jump to conclusions. But the surprise thing, though, Johnny Walker only 4th fastest. Both the Brightmores faster than Johnny in that session. So,
yeah,
I mean, Johnny won't be too disheartened by that. However, Johnny would be expected to be 2nd faster. So we look at some of the best bits.
Oh, see them hit that one.
Just attacking, isn't it? That's just attacking.
Little sump grind. Just look how the front wheel, the front tyre on his bike is going to be brand new by the end of it, because he never touches the floor with it.
Yeah. Power will always win the day, and again, a little bit of showboating. The atmosphere is going to be absolutely special in here tonight, Paul.
I remember the track invasion last year when Billy was when they were doing the final ceremony, and literally I cannot believe how many drunk people were running across where they shouldn't have been.
Well,
but it was such an amazing atmosphere, and the passion was all positive, and I thought, well done, UK.
Yeah. And it's great having Super Enduro back in the United Kingdom, especially when it is the United Kingdom that is dominated. It's not just Billy Bolt, it's Johnny Walker, it's Ashton Brightmore, it's Mitch Brightmore.
That is such a big step up there, honestly.
Yeah, Johnny Walker. We will find out tonight, folks. Make sure you join us live at 6 o'clock UK time. It's 7 o'clock in Central Euro time. But last time out, Paul, we had a fantastic arena. We had a fantastic event. It was round 5 of the Super Enduro World Championship in Budapest. So this was round 5 of the Super Enduro FIM World Championship, the Prestige class, and Billy Bolt, certainly in Superpole, was absolutely on it. Great arena, great atmosphere, and great riding.
Yeah, dirt was really good as well. It didn't tear up too much. It did in some places. It was crumbling a little bit, but the traction was amazing.
And then Johnny Walker on the Triumph. Well, it was an incredible night to begin with for Johnny Walker. With the new bike, still bedding it in, but going over across the line, taking Superpole.
Yeah, that was a great moment for Johnny's confidence.
And Mitch Brightmore again, he's got stronger and stronger as the season's gone on.
Yeah, I love how much the Brightmores have developed and how much more change they've done. Mitch doing his trademark, stood up round the turn, dabbing. We've seen him get through a good Superpole positions from that in the other races of the year.
Yeah, so Mitch went on to be 3rd fastest in Superpole. Billy was 2nd quickest, and Johnny Walker taking all 3 points, just under half a second faster. Then into the first race.
Yeah, the gate was mega. The way that they could all run in wide, and the guys who went wide could still break enough on that bank. And we saw Mitch Brightmore go down in that first race. He was dead last.
Yeah, he recovered well.
Yeah, we saw this moment was pretty scary with Toby Martin.
Yeah, just behind.
And then they all got penalised because of the yellow flags, but I've been speaking to the riders, and the yellow flags, once Toby had crashed there, which he was all right, but once he'd crashed, then the yellow flags weren't waving in the right spot. Okay. So they were already committed to the jump, and they all got a penalty.
That was Eddie Carlson who went down, but Billy Bolt went on to take the first win of the evening in Prestige. And then onto the reverse gate.
Yeah, we saw Johnny going round the outside, and he got himself into a really good position. You can just see him there. Billy was like packed in at the back.
Dominic Oljovi was off to a fine start as well.
Johnny still rolling round the outside of everything.
Yeah, but Will Hoare,
yeah,
he had a great start, didn't he? And Will and Johnny battling away.
Yeah, and then Johnny really just started to pull away a little bit, but then Billy just didn't give up, did he?
No, he doesn't know how to give up. He's, in terms of, no one has ridden more Super Enduro races in the Prestige class than Johnny Walker. That's out at the moment in this championship. And then what a battle this was as well.
Yeah.
Mitch Brightmore, unfortunately
that was Mitch,
for him.
actually. I think Mitch was actually getting lapped there. I think it was between Cooper Abbott and Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Billy Bolt just going on, fighting getting past the Sherco rider. And again, it was another fine display. Will Hall battling away, but Billy was just,
He knew it was coming at that point. Just try and get a toe off Billy.
So Billy Bolt was just in unstoppable form. It's funny, Billy, as well, because he dominates normally Super Pole, and you think, well, that sets him up for the night. And then if he doesn't win Super Pole, you think it makes him doubly determined.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know, either way.
But he's so critical of himself. Great start from Johnny, but then that was that moment. Just he stalled it. Actually, that's what he said. You can see once the back wheel's locked up, it's just out and that.
And well done everyone else to avoid him.
Apart from Will just testing his back seat.
Exactly.
You know, just testing to see how the seat foam was.
Billy Bolt again was in great form, but Brightmore's as well.
Yeah, Eddie Carlson seemed to struggle a bit on the night with this. Yeah, that section cost so many riders, and actually that's the section where Gomez hurt his hand as well.
And then look at this from Billy Bolt.
Just never lets go of the pegs until the end.
And keeps on with the handlebars. And again, we've mentioned it so many times this season. He recovers so well, and then went on. Another checkered flag, another overall Grand Prix victory for Billy Bolt, and that's why 14,000 fans were in the arena in Budapest, came to see.
Yeah.
So Billy Bolt on the top step, and great to see Ashton Brightmore for an overall podium alongside Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Yeah, Billy will just be being a bit critical about himself in the evening.
But that's
usually
what,
is.
That's what legends do.
Yeah, he does spurs for every little bit of perfection.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I mean, all for basking in the glory of what you've done.
Yeah.
But when you just do that,
he doesn't do that.
Exactly.
He doesn't do that very well.
Exactly.
But he does give himself a pat on the back when he's executed it really well.
So the Junior Championship this year, what a championship the juniors have provided us with in terms of entertainment. In everything that's happened in this series so far, we've had so many different race winners.
Yeah, these guys were making a bit of a mess of that exit of the rock section, not using the wide line.
That was
was Puey.
Yeah.
Massive crash by Puey. Yeah, I've not seen him here actually tonight, so I presume he is injured. Schmoozer was down. There's that matrix that we said about. This was catching so many out.
Yeah.
You see, and it's not nice to go over the bars. You would have felt that in the morning, that's for sure, on your thighs.
Yeah, and he's a big lad, Milan Schmoozer as well. He's really tall.
This was some nice rubbing up. I like this sort of.
That's Fernandez and Schmoozer. Fernandez is kind of, you'd say, he's champion elect.
He got his own back. Ooh.
Yeah, and this matrix section just spinning, looking for traction.
God. Schmoozer he's got longer legs, so he can get out of trouble a bit easier sometimes.
But yeah, Milan Schmoozer on the night. Budapest was to be Schmoozer's night. Second race as well.
It was also a great. It was so nice to have such a big jump in the middle. It was quite spectacular. They made it a bit smaller. There was a few sort of comments about it being a bit too big, but
yeah, Milan Schmoozer, who's now second in the overall standings, but he's been playing catch-up, having scored very few points at the start. He hurt himself, of course, in the opening round in Poland.
Yeah, Bert's Crayston getting a really good start with I think it was Kuss was second.
Yeah, but eventually this is the moment when it all went pear-shaped for Bert's Crayston.
It was a hard exit, that. If you just missed the rhythm, then that's when they started to struggle.
And this
you should never follow into an obstacle.
And this section, of course, was catching so many riders.
Those Schmoozer getting it wrong as well, but just I think we might see Mark Fernandez trying to get one back on Schmoozer here.
So yeah, again
we saw that.
Yeah, Schmoozer came back, and Schmoozer can hand it out when he needs to.
Yeah, well, quick glance. Really heads up riding there. Just knew where Mark was going to go and just waited, and just a bit of a supercross type riding.
The good thing with Mark Fernandez is he has such a healthy advantage in the top of the championship standings. that he could say, well, I can let Milan have this one. I don't have to push too hard. As long as I stay with him, which is what he does in this race, just follows him across the line, concedes 3 points, but it's 3 points he can more than afford to do.
Yeah, it was a nice track. I enjoyed, and also they sort of started with on the start where they're going round an obstacle to use part of the track, which I think it really uses the space in the arena.
So Milan Schmuser, 2 wins out of 2, looking to make it 3, but it was Marc Fernandez on the red plate who had a fantastic start. Again, Milan Schmuser with a little moment, but he soon recovered from that. But we've said all along this season about Marc Fernandez, really super smooth.
Yeah, he has, and he just always putting the bike where he needs to. He's not really in too much of a stress.
And then Schmuser making his way through the rock garden. And then the checkered flag came out. Here he comes to make it 3 wins out of 3 on the night. Milan Schmuser recovering so well. And if you're going to win all 3. If you're going to take the Grand Prix victory. So Milan Schmuser eats into Marc Fernandez's lead.
And it was good for Roland Lichter on the podium as well. He was charging. Sometimes I think he was charging a little bit too hard. I think if he could just tidy it up a little bit, then he would have been in even better position in that night.
But yeah, those are the eyes of a man who's happy with his night's work. So that was SuperEnduro in Budapest, and this is how the Grand Prix for the junior class ended. Milan Schmuser, Marc Fernandez, Roland Lichter, and Strauss just missing out. Into the Youth Cup, and again it's now become really about 2 riders. It was a 4-way fight, but Lashka and Connor Watson just losing a little bit of ground.
Yeah, Connor's okay. Connor Watson's okay now after his problems there. He damaged something internally, but I think it wasn't too bad. They just told him to rest.
And that was Godino who went down.
He was up quick though.
But he was, and he recovered well. Godino with a good championship lead, and he made it even stronger in Budapest.
Yeah, the FIM decided to make the decision for these guys, the youth guys, to not jump the main jump in the middle, which they'd already done it in practice, so I'm all for. But they want the FIM. They talked to me after the event, and they want the youth class to succeed. These guys are the future of the sport, and they want this to all succeed this year and have no major catastrophes. And so after that, I kind of understand it, and it's a great decision in a way.
Because I mean, some of them are what, 14 years of age.
Yeah,
you know, they're all. But Ramon Godino was the man or the boy in the first race, taking the spoils. Then on to the second race, Lashka on bike 5. Fraser Lamkin with a good start, however, it was the Australian rider, wasn't it?
It was Blake, wasn't it?
Michael Blake.
Yeah, he was pumped, and then he chucked it down in the rocks straight away.
Yeah, we've
coming back from injury. Still, he's maybe not had enough time on the bike as well, and that's what it is about ultimately. This, I think that was Lashka.
Lashka,
sorry.
Yeah. But then someone looking to take a couple of souvenirs home with them.
I think that Lashka's going to get better and better.
Yeah.
I do. I think he's going to evolve. I've been watching him quite closely. I like his style. I like what he's doing, and I think he's got a lot more to give.
The one who's giving it all at the moment, though, is Godino. 2 wins out of 2, looking for that, and
Charlie Crossland getting on the box. That was amazing for him because he's had such a nightmare with bike problems. He's broke things, but this guy.
And I hope everybody can feel the same.
In his interviews as well.
That was 5 wins in a row in the youth class.
Yeah,
so the overall spoils. So Fraser Lamkin in second place, and 12 points is a big advantage to take into this round here in Newcastle.
And we wrapped the Europe Cup up, didn't we, here?
We did, yeah. It was the final Europe Cup of the campaign, the 4th round in all. And it's been very good with Norbert Zigovits, who began so well but had that massive crash in Riesa that cost him dearly.
Yeah.
But he came back. Cargill.
Yeah, Cargill struggled a bit, didn't he? He let him he let Zigovits get away a bit too much, and yeah, couldn't make it up at the end because the races are so short. It happens so fast. At the 4-minute mark, you feel it's never going to end, and then before you know it's gone.
Yeah, but Zigovits on bike 39, the local hero. And you see, the crowd was erupting, wasn't it? When
just that mistake there, but you know that happens. He still had plenty in the bag.
Yeah, it was a great night in Budapest, and again we had the Prestige is the top of the tree, but there's entertainment in everything, junior, youth,
yeah,
and the Europe Cup as well. Zigovits giving the fans what they wanted.
Yeah, it's a great evening, isn't it? So much happening, and it's hard to keep up even for us guys, isn't it, in the commentary when you're looking back through the field. There's so much happening everywhere. Everybody's in their own battle. It's hard, you can't mention everybody.
Exactly, there's so much going on all around the arena. So the final race then, Zigovits looking to make it the double on the day. Again, just the rock garden, see even the loose rocks in there.
Yeah, but they were huge, them rocks. We did quite a bit of gardening at the beginning. Yeah.
And Zigovits again, just
they were having a
proper ding dong.
Yeah, it was good to see them two going at it.
Then another little moment for Norbert. Again, recovering well, very experienced rider. So we all had him at the start of the campaign especially with his background in Prestige, etc., to dominate the Europe Cup. However, it wasn't to be his year in the end. It just shows with SuperEnduro, as we always say, anything can happen.
Yeah.
And
Hanneman got that one, didn't he?
Yeah, Hanneman was there, but Finn Hanneman ending the Europe Cup campaign with a win. Zigovits on the podium as well. Again, just smiles. What a night, what entertainment. And again, Finn Hanneman enjoying it.
What turns out from just being a joke to ride.
And again, Europe Cup, we've got expert this. We don't have Europe here in Newcastle. We've got the expert this weekend.
Can't be happy enough.
And this is how it finished, with Finn Hanneman getting it, but Cargill overall taking the spoils in Europe Cup at the end of the campaign. So this are, again, some of our memories from Budapest 3 weeks ago. Billy Bolt just turning it on. Okay, let's have a word with a guy who's in his second year in Prestige. He's a former junior champion, and we've just seen him go second fastest in time qualifying ahead of Superpole. Let's hear from Mitch Brightmore.
Mitchell Brightmore alongside me, second best in the time practice here in Newcastle, but let's start from the beginning. The most important round for you, for British riders in the calendar. Did you sleep well tonight?
Yeah, I had a good night's sleep, ready for the home GP. I'm looking forward tonight, all the home fans, cheering me on, so yeah, looking forward to it.
So take us through that timed practice. How is the track? How did you feel out there?
The track's like typical UK style, wet. Well, it's not wet, but the mud's pretty soft. It's pretty grabby with the front end, so it's definitely going to be 3 tiring races with the mud. So just try and get through tonight with some good points and hopefully be on the podium.
We know what's on stake, your rivalry between you and your brother Ash. How do you find it? What's your take on that?
It's going to be a pretty cool race. We're close in the championship, so to battle it out with my brother at the home GP, it's going to be a pretty cool feeling.
An atmosphere here in Newcastle, it's always electric, always special. How do you feel about it? How much boost energy you can get from the fans around?
Obviously, I try my hardest always, but when the fans are cheering you on, it just gives you that little bit more edge, and hopefully we can battle with Billy and hopefully get a couple of wins under my belt.
Enjoy tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, great to hear from Mitch Brightmore, and we are all set for another superb night's entertainment. Paul Bolton is doing the double header tonight, co-commentary, and he'll be competing in the expert class as well, and we'll be getting great insights into what's going on in and around the arena. Make sure you join us. Don't forget you've got free access on our YouTube channels, etc. And for the Super Pole, we're all going live at 6 o'clock tonight. But for now, from Paul Bolton and myself, Dave Moore, we look forward to your company at 6 o'clock. Until then, it's goodbye for now.
Cheers, guys.
It's Billy Bald. We're here in Newcastle for round 6 of the 2025 SuperEnduro World Championship. My home round. Let's check out the track. Interesting start this week, which means we're actually going to have a lap and a half preview rather than just one lap. But let's see how it goes. Rock section. Really nice rock section, quite tricky, but a lot of lines, so I think for racing it's going to be really cool. Quite a simple matrix, but quite big distances between the logs, so it is going to get tricky, and the dirt's quite soft, so I think it will rut up. Good sized finish line jump, which is always nice, into the first corner. This is going to be an interesting section because there's a lot of rhythms which I think are possible through there. I kind of just kept it steady for now. Spoke pipe corner like we had last year in Newcastle, really nice corner. Spine jump into this rhythm section again. I think we'll be tripling that one in the racing. Back into the rocks, lots of lines to choose from. I hadn't really looked at them, so I'm hoping to go through them a little bit faster than this in the races, but let's see. Back into the matrix, and then this actual double before the finish will also be quite tricky. Across the finish line. And there we have it. Check out the action, superenduro.tv. Gets up.